Mr. Speaker.
We move to 10-minute responses to Urawa Flavel.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker, kia ora tātou katoa. I whai haere ko te ahutango ngā kōrero I te rānei, mai a parekura poromia, me mihi rā ki te hunga ko ngaro atu te tirohanga kanohi, waiho rātou kia moe ki oki oki. Nō tata nei, ko pai ruha tērā, ko henare ngata tērā, e aro hatu ana kia rātou, e moe koutou I te wāhi ngaro. Ka mihi kia koe te kaiwhakawā, te māngai o te whare, koe ki tēnei taumata, ka tahi, ka rua ki o hoa, kia Ross Robertson, kia Lindsay Tish, ko rāua noho ki koe ki tēnei taumata. Tērā, ka nui te mihi. Ka mutu ka huri kia parekora horomia, nāna tonu te whare I whakatau I te ahiahi nei, me mihi rā ki aia kā tika, I wāwāhi nei te ahutango ngā kōrero o te whare nei. E aro hātu ana ki aia, te mea ko panaia ia ki muri o te whare, e tana rōpū hoi anō, tērā te ahuatango te whare pāremata, te tikanga ia, tērā pēr ka riro mā reipa nōra tērā take e kōrero. Ka mihi ki te tuakana nei ki Alfred Ngaro me tana kōrero. Ka rawe, he rawe tana kōrero. E whakamārama nei ko te tūturutanga o tana haramai a tangata whenua o te kuki areni, me mihi rā ki aia, o tira ki a Paul Goldsmith rāwatahi. Ka mutu ki ngā memo hou, ko tā mai ki rote te whare, tēnā koutou kia ora tātou katoa. He honore nui ki au te tuake hei waha kōrero mo te pāti Māori te rangi nei. Tokotoru noi ho mātou engari, ka tahi te tokotoru. Ka ara ake no te pāti Māori, hei te wā. Ka mihi rā kia winitana me tana kōrero. Kona te mate o te korau, kua hua ware e tahi o ngā take o te wā. He oi anu, he wā tōna ka hoki mai ki te whai au ki te ao mārama. Mr. Speaker, 10 days ago the Māori Party entered into an arrangement, a relationship accord with the National Party, which represents in its widest sense a solid commitment to whānau, hapū and iwi to make tangible steps forward in achieving progress towards a successful and prosperous future. We know it's going to be hard work. It was a decision, however, that our supporters came to. In fact, they encouraged us to make that decision based on over 30 hui throughout the whole of the country. Their view was that that all of the promises and the pledges made throughout the election campaign amount to nothing if we choose to throw away the best opportunity to make a difference. And so we've secured an agreement which focuses on addressing the things that matter, building warm homes, improving educational achievement, eliminating diseases of poverty, investing in our rangatahi through the provision of jobs and skills training, giving due attention to lifting water quality. So one of our greatest achievements has been to gain a renewed support for the evolving focus and implementation of whānau ora. The relationship accord states a commitment to 3 key goals in advancing whānau ora. And they've been spoken about today. Number 1, a specific annual whānau ora appropriation will be developed to improve the reach, capability and effectiveness of whānau ora. Secondly, a standalone commissioning agency will be established over the next 12 months. And thirdly, whānau ora will be increasingly bringing focus to addressing the issues of employment, housing, educational achievement and supporting our most vulnerable members, including those on low incomes. I would have thought, sir, that that's the sort of philosophy and background that members of this House would support fully, but unfortunately some don't. Sir, the speech from the throne described the importance of better and more effective public services in order to ensure real results are achieved. Mr. Speaker, it's on the results that the Māori Party will be focusing on in this term. We will be past placards, we'll be past platitudes. We will keep our eyes fixed fairly and squarely on outcomes that show that we're making a difference. And of course, after 3 years, we've been measured against that. Whānau ora, sir, to help the Honourable Winston Peters in its purest form is about restoring the memory of our people who will be, that they can be self-determining, that we can take responsibility for ourselves, working together to embed on our own growth. That, sir, is what Tino Rangatiratanga is all about, aside from the flag and aside from a slogan. Mr. Speaker, I want to borrow 3 words from a gentleman by the name of Harmy Chapman, who was last year awarded the Local Hero Award in the New Zealanders of the Year honours. Sam, sir, is based in Otara in Auckland. He has over 40 years' experience in transforming communities, particularly engaging with people who have been alienated, marginalised and lost hope along the way. So Sam talks about the AAA approach: awareness, attitude, action. So the Māori Party knows that so much of the success of local communities comes when we can grow the awareness that we can manage our own affairs, that we can break the cycles of reliance and dependence on others. And I suppose that's what Mr. Alfred Ngaro was talking about today. It is about starting off with the attitude that demonstrates we know that we are capable of miracles. Attitude comes from a context and the impacts of colonisation, assimilation, global recessions and paternalistic policies of the state have led down a pathway which sets some people up, unfortunately, to fail. So we choose not to rely on the state as the option of first resort. No way. And so our actions must model the shifting of thinking which lifts our sights to our own solutions. We must move away from lowering our gaze to what the state can provide to instead building our own vision. But, Mr. Speaker, we accept also that there are those who are struggling, and it is our collective responsibility to provide the buffer of support to ensure everyone has a decent basis of life. And that is why we are so pleased that the Relationship Accord gives priority to alleviating the effects of poverty in Aotearoa. The creation of a ministerial committee on poverty and the initial initiatives to urgently invest in the prevention of rheumatic fever, home insulation, Māori education, trade training and home ownership are huge for us for creating a better world for the generations to come. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased that in the Māori Affairs Select Committee, parties from across the House will be able to contribute to this work through the inquiry into the determinants of well-being for Māori children. One of the key goals of that inquiry is that there will be an investigation into the extent of public investment into Māori children across the health, education, social services and justice sectors, and whether this investment is adequate and equitable. So the Relationship Accord builds on the momentum that we have already established over the last 3 years in government. One of the key platforms from that term, which will assume even greater importance, is, and this one is to lead the public discussion around the constitutional arrangements for Aotearoa. It was disappointing to read the comments from Mr. Harawira about the importance of swearing allegiance to the Queen in ceremonies held yesterday. I think he said you just cross as many fingers and toes as you can because it's absolutely meaningless. Well, for us, and for I'm sure him, he should know that there would be no treaty of Waitangi without the Queen, and that the sacred covenant entered into between Wikitoria and the rangatira of Aotearoa remains highly significant to whānau Hapuaniwi across the land, and we want to pursue that. Mr. Speaker, the Māori Party are of the view, however, that swearing allegiance to Te Tiriti of Waitangi is of fundamental importance in moving forward, and our bill, the Oaths and Declaration upholding the Treaty of Waitangi Amendment Bill, is just one that we'll be taking up to honour our commitment to our people, and indeed Te Tiriti of Waitangi is our foundation document. So finally, I would note that one of the most important aspects of our Relationship Accord is actually what's not in the agreement. And despite what Mr. Peters has said earlier, the Māori Party does not support partial asset sales, and support for such measures was not included as a part of that accord. So we've also been very clear about the agree to disagree provisions. This provision protects the independence, the mana motuaka of the Māori Party. We have the freedom to vote on all issues on a case-by-case basis, other than matters which are subject to confidence and supply, which is around the budget. That, by the way, has how we operated in the last term, and we will continue to do so in this term. We guard our independence fiercely, sir, to safeguard the strong and independent voice for Māori. We remain focused on what we will achieve in the long-term gains for the next generation. How will our kaupapa and tikanga be enabled to influence and shape the growing nation? And all of those things will be achieved, we hope, in the next 3 years. That's where we'll be heading. I said earlier that I would hope that all of these things that have been developed through the confidence and supply agreement with the Relationship Accord sets a special precedent The past has left that only parties with the confidence and supply are pretty much bound down. But we, the Māori Party, appreciates very much the relationship accord, which changes the tone of that relationship to give us the freedom that we have to vote where we want to, how we would like to, except on those issues of finance. And we look forward to a strong, robust 3 years ahead. Kia ora mai.
Hone Harawira.